In today's video, we will find out which simming method is better in FIFA career mode. Is it the quick sim mode or the calendar sim mode? Me personally, I've always liked the calendar sim more because it just feels like I win more games that way. However, unless you keep a spreadsheet, you will have no idea who scored for your team or the opposing team. That makes developing storylines in career mode so hard.
Look, seriously, EA, how fucking hard is it to just let us go back and look at our stats?
Anyway, as a person who plays a career mode a lot, I feel like I'm always afraid to sim games, especially when I'm one of the best in the league. It always seems like the worst team in the league somehow magically pulls out a draw against me, or sometimes even beats me. Today, we will try to answer two very important questions. Is FIFA Sim really that trash, or are we all just biased? And more importantly, is there really a difference between the two simming styles? To test this, we are simming the first season of career mode 20 times, using both quicksim and counter sim. The team that we will be using for this experiment is Manchester City. Why City, you ask? Well, because according to this website, City are the best team in the league based on team quality. This means that they should finish at or near the top of the table every single season. I kept track of absolutely everything: league finishing position, cups, Champions League performances, and even player statistics for every single player. The starting position for every single simulation in this video is the same. We are here, ready to play against Real Madrid in a preseason friendly. To best emulate a realistic career mode save, every drill is completed to a grade of A. There are exactly two team sheets for the team. Sheet 1 looks like this. This sheet includes our best players at every position. This is what Sheet 2 looks like. This sheet includes backups for every position. Sheet 1 will be used as an active roster for every quick sim game. Sheet 2 will be used for training. This again is to best emulate a realistic career mode save, as I feel like this is what a lot of people do. Also, side note, I gave a new contract to Gundogan because letting him walk for free would tank my manager rating. I also sent my scout out to England for 9 months, just in case I needed to scramble to not get fired, as there are these two easy youth objectives I can complete. While quick-simming, I quick-simmed every single game of the season by hand. One season of simming plus recording the stats took anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. You can do the math on that one. If an injury or a red card occurred, I just let the CPU handle it. As for the calendar sim, that was a lot easier. All I had to do was go to April, sim, and hope I didn't get fired. Spoiler alert, I got fired a lot in this video. Whenever that happened, I just had to go to team stats to see the stats for every player. Now you might be wondering, why am I going through such a big effort to find an answer to the question when the new FIFA is gonna come out soon anyway? Luckily for me, EA cares so much about the players of career mode that they never give us new features just so we don't get overwhelmed. That means that this video will probably be valid for another 5 to 10 years. Without further ado, let's get to simming. These are some of the highlights. First off, quick sim. In run number 3, we got sacked. Felt justified though, as the team performed poorly in all cup competitions and the Champions League, falling in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, round 16 in the Champions League, and round 5 of the FA Cup. Still, we managed to finish first in the Premier League. In round 6, one of our stars, Mahrez, struggled to stay healthy as he struggled 2 long-term injuries that season. In round 7, we lost in the 4th round replay to Grimsby Town. Spoiler alert, that will not be the last time we will hear from them. However, that very same season, we managed to conquer Spain by beating Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid on our way to win Champions League. Pretty realistic looking season for Haaland, as he scores 37 goals in 38 Premier League games. In round 11, we got sacked again. In round 12, Haaland missed a big chunk of the season with an injury, which means the team was struggling and the manager rating was not looking good. I did my prayers as I simulated the last game of the season, and somehow we survived. This was our first trophyless season thus far. In Haaland's absence, however, Kevin De Bruyne gathered up his teammates and said, "Look at me, I am the striker now," as he scored 25 goals and got 13 assists. He led the league in goals and assists that year. What a season. In round 13, we lost to Luton Town in round 3 of the FA Cup. That tanked our manager rating so hard that we had to turn to objectives to keep us afloat. We stumbled on an absolute gem in Mason Townsend, who was valued at 3.8 million when we picked him up. He didn't get promotion to the first team, however, as I was afraid he might get some actual playing time. In round 15, Ruben Diaz got a broken tibia and was out for 5 months, which means someone else had to step up on defense. No one did though, as we conceded 3 to Huddersfield Town in the third round of the FA Cup, and then we, you guessed it, got sacked again. The team had an okay season overall though, winning the league and the Carabao Cup. Round 16 was one of our worst ones yet, as we finished 4th in the Prem, which would be our only finish outside the top 3 in the whole video. Looks like we just struggled to put the ball in the net that season, as we only managed 64 goals in the Premier League. That would end up being our worst goal tally for the whole video. Chelsea, however, had a really good season, finishing at the top of the Prem and knocking us out of the FA Cup as well as the Carabao Cup. In round 17, I told you they'd be back. Grimsby Town got the best of us again in round 3 of the FA Cup. To make matters even worse, we also lost in round 3 of the Carabao Cup to another League 2 team in Crawley Town. Luckily for us, we're not in League 2 because we still managed to win the Premier League somehow. In round 18, it felt like deja vu. We again fell out of the Carabao Cup to a League 2 team. This time it was Sutton United. We managed to make it all the way to the final of the FA Cup, however, where we had to face another League 2 team in Doncaster Rovers. Would it happen again? Would it happen 2 years in a row? No, this time we managed to walk away with a victory. Oh yeah, we also won the Prem and made it to the final in the Champions League. In round 19, we got beaten by a League 2 team again. At this point in the video, I'm not even surprised anymore. Now let's move on to 20 seasons of calendar sim. In run number 6, Holland got injured, which meant Alvarez got his first real chance of the experiment, and as you can see, he didn't do that much with it. Run number 7 saw someone not named Ederson stand between the post for City. Run number 8, we managed to win our first treble as we dominated the Prem, winning by 14 points, winning the FA Cup against Nottingham and outlasting Bayern in the Champions League final. In run 9, we got sacked again. 10, we went trophyless again. In run 11, we went trophyless and got sacked. And same again in run 14. In run 15, we didn't make it out of our group in the Champions League, but defeated United 4-0 in the final of the Europa League. In round 16, someone other than the usual suspects won the league. Aston Villa defied the odds and won the Premier League, while we finished 3rd. In round 18, we won everything there was to win, with 4 trophies that year. In round 19, Holland and De Bruyne were just toying with the opposition, Holland finishing with 60 goal contributions and De Bruyne with 52. The team wasn't great, however, only managing to pick up the Carabao Cup. Now it's time to look at results. In terms of Premier League success, the two simming styles were very similar. If you look at points, wins, draws, and losses, the two styles are pretty much the same. With both methods, the team averaged around 83 points, 25 wins, 8 draws, and 5 losses. If you look at the titles and average finish in the league, quicksim has a little bit of an edge, but that is mostly because of the performance of other teams in the league, since the team performed the same in both simulation styles. These stats seem fairly realistic to me, and something you could expect from City in real life. The simming styles were also very similar in terms of goals scored, conceded, and the goal difference. The only point where you could see a noticeable difference in performance is the FA Cup performance. To have a better measure on cup success, I created this table. As you can see, in the Champions League and Carabao Cup, the teams performed very similarly. However, in the FA Cup, the teams seem to struggle a lot more using quicksim method. All those losses to League 2 teams racked up pretty quick in the end. Using the table I created, on average, the team made it into the round 6 of the FA Cup using quicksim, whereas with calendar sim, the team averaged at least a semi-final finish. When it comes to player performance, the results are quite what you would expect. Using calendar sim, the assistant coach gave much more playtime to the bench players, as several players saw a big boost in their appearances. If you are more of a visual learner, look at these fancy graphs I made. Players like Gundogan and Grealish received big boosts in their appearances using the calendar sim. This begs the question, why did these players not get more playtime in the quick sim? They were both on the bench, and first team definitely struggled with stamina since they played every single game of the season. The answer again comes down to the simple fact that EA care about the career mode fanbase too much to make any changes to the mode. They just don't want to overwhelm us with stupid new updates or new features of any kind, really. While they incorporated the new 5-sub rule into the game, it doesn't look like they went far enough to actually tweak the algorithm that makes AI use those substitutes in quicksim games. Thank you, EA. Thank you so much. Never change. Hopefully this video answered some of your questions regarding to which sim style is better, and you can use both of them in the future with confidence. This is my first ever video, so any type of feedback in the comments is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.